Hello, Blackhawks Nation. Welcome to Blackhawks Daily, your favorite recap of the daily buzz about your Chicago Blackhawks. I'm your host, PJ. So let's get into the top 4 topics of today. Today, I'm going to start a little bit on a somber note. For those who may have not heard, Harry Teinowitz, no longer with us. True Chicago original, known as a man of the people. He was a staple in the Chicago sports scene for decades, right? Known as an avid Chicago fan. Most notably, he starred on the Mac, Yurko, and Harry show for many years on ESPN 1000, has been a large presence in the Chicago radio scene, like I said, for decades. Earlier in his career, he was an actor, had a small part in 1982's Risky Business with Tom Cruise, but also was a stand-up comedian throughout his career as well. Personally, I had a run-in with Mr. Teinowitz back in the mid-90s when he was on the Jonathan Brandmeier show, and he did sports. And back in those days, Brandmeier was the number one show, the number one morning show on radio in Chicago by far, just massive. And at the time, your boy was the host of a show on old WCBR 92.7 The Bear out in Arlington Heights. And I got a chance to read sports on the Brandmeier show while Harry was down at spring training. And funny side story, I never realized Brandmeier was famous for ribbing people on his show, especially those that he worked with. I didn't realize that Harry Teinowitz that was his name. And I kept mishearing it. I thought they were saying Harry Tiny Nuts, just making fun of Harry. So when I got there and I started reading sports and I wanted to make a name for myself and I wanted to be cool, I started calling Harry, because Harry wasn't there, I started calling Harry Small Scrotum. So I'd be like, yeah, Harry Small Scrotum, he's down at Florida at the Grapefruit League, whatever. And Brandmeier would look at me like, what are you doing, right? And so I kept doing this throughout the whole time that I was reading the sports on the Brandmeier show for that week that Teinowitz was down at spring training. And it was only afterwards that they were like, you know his name's Teinowitz, right? And I was like, oh. So afterwards, I had actually called the station and apologized to him. And he thought it was just the funniest thing. So just a great guy. And his impact on Chicago sports and Chicago radio will not be forgotten, and he will be missed by us. He'll be missed by us all. So, love you, Harry. He was 64. He had a long battle with liver problems and heart problems. So, just our biggest love and aloha to his family and those around him. So, he will definitely be missed. Okay, so back to the Hawks, another subject that we love that's hopefully a little bit more uplifting. The full schedule is out for this coming season, and we haven't really touched on this, but it is the Chicago Blackhawks 100th season, which is actually kind of cool. So we've already covered that they're going to start on October 7th down in Florida. Afterwards, so they're starting with 2 road games, and then they come back here, the UC, on October 11th with their game against Montreal. This season, they're going to play the Wild, the Predators, the Blues, the Mammoth, and the Jets 4 times. The rest of divisional play are going to feature 3 games against the Avalanche, 2 at home, 1 away, and the Dallas Stars, 1 at home, 2 away. The Blackhawks will also play 3 games against each team in the Pacific Division. The Ducks, the Flames, Sharks, and the Canucks will all play here in Chicago twice. The Oilers, the Kings, the Kraken, and the Golden Knights will play 1 game in Chicago during the season. The Blackhawks will play their yearly home-and-home series with each team from the Eastern Conference. So important dates to note: October 11th, home opener against Montreal. October 30th, against Winnipeg at Winnipeg. It's the first game with Taves. So I hope he looks great on the ice. I hope that he has a fantastic game. I hope that we win and I hope that he's the only person that scores on their team. November 25th versus Minnesota here. It's the night before Thanksgiving. November 28th against Nashville here. Luke Richardson's return to the UC. Okay. December 13th against Detroit here. Patrick Kane and Alex DeBrincat are back in Chicago. I don't know if Kane, he signed a 1-year deal, so could be the last time as a Detroit Red Winger. December 30th versus the Islanders here. Matthew Schaefer's possible United Center debut. January 1st versus Dallas. It's New Year's Day. January 9th versus Washington again here. It's Alex Ovechkin's possible last game at the UC. January 19th here against Winnipeg. It's Taves' return to Chicago. January 25th versus Florida. Here, Seth Jones' first game back to the UC, so we can boo him. February 4th at Columbus. It's the last game before the Olympic break. February 28th at Nashville. It's the first game after the Olympics. April 6th against the Sharks. It's our final road game. And April 15th against the Sharks here. It's the regular season finale. So there you have it. That's some fun. That's the tidbits for the season that's coming up. So let's talk about goalies. And I don't know if you guys heard this, but we signed another one. The Blackhawks have signed 6'4", 218-pound, 22-year-old Stanislav Berezhnoi to a 2-year entry-level contract. The deal has a $975,000 cap hit. Berezhnoi's contract was recently terminated with Dynamo St. Petersburg in the VHL. He appeared in one game in KHL for Dynamo last season. 8 postseason appearances for Dynamo's VHL club. Berezhnoi had a .921 save percentage. So suddenly we have a lot of goalies. We have 2 at the NHL level, clear starter in Mr. Spencer Knight, and the injured ghost payrollee Laurent Brossoit. We also have Drew Comess down at Rockford, but the Hawks love him, but don't know if he's ready for primetime. We also had Arvid Soderblom, but he's still a restricted free agent, elected arbitration. That hasn't been resolved yet, and that's not even started yet. The hearings are from July 20th through the 4th, through August 4th, so TBD on that. We also have prospects Adam Gahan, as well as newly drafted Ilya Konarski. So does our grabbing Berezhnoi mean that we're ready to move on from one of these guys, or are we just stockpiling? So I don't know. You guys tell me. And speaking of you guys telling me, we're back to hot takes. So Ashiat said, I've always been a big... So back to jerseys. You guys really piped in about the jerseys today, which is awesome. So love that. Everyone loves their fashion. Ashiat says, I've always been a big fan of the early 90s Maple Leafs jersey. True. Very cool jersey. But almost every Blackhawks jersey is even better IMHO. And in IMHO, you're correct. Blackhawks jersey all the way. Thank you very much. Dave 5857. Oh, Dave, thank you for coming back, sir. The Nordique sweater was one of my favorites. Nordiques are pretty cool. A very unique sweater. Always, I remember the first time, it took me the longest time to figure out that was a guy, which was supposed to be the end, but I don't know why, but it took me a while. Ernest Eisen, 7979, another repeat offender on this show. When the Hawks play the Canadiens, visually to me, it's the best looking matchup in sports, but man, does it bring back some painful memories. Yeah, it does bring back some painful memories. But I also agree with you. 2 original 6 teams in those beautiful sweaters. You're a man after my own heart there, Ernest. Jay said, Hawks wings too. So he's talking about great pairings on the ice, especially if it's the Hawks white and the wings red. The only thing that makes that better is when Chelios is beating the crap out of someone. Probably Probert. Back before Probert came on with us. But anyway, agreed, right? It just brings back so many great memories. Kevin Lavelle 2751 says, keep up the good work, man. Thank you very much, sir. Appreciate that. John 110-8100 said, while we're talking about names, it's Vaslav Nastrashil. Thank you. They had the accent above the S, and I didn't know exactly how to say that. So I appreciate that. That's what I've seen. I don't know if it helps. Thanks for your channel time and fandom. Go Hawks. Thank you for your tuning into the channel time and fandom. And yes, let's go Hawks. Chicago turntablism, which I think is very cool. Must be a DJ. Says, nice channel, dude. Thank you very much. Tom Philip. I always mess this guy's name up, but he is a repeat offender as well. Tom Filipiak 3511 says, stop until the Chicago Sports Network is not a third world broadcast. We are in the depths of iniquity. Yeah, you know what? I guess the jury's out on that one, bud. We're just going to have to see how it goes. I did not, thank you for reminding me, I did not check in to see if YouTube TV is even going to cover the Chicago Sports Network. So I'm going to have to check into that. Or am I going to go to YouTube TV? I don't know. Or sorry, I'm on YouTube. Am I going to go to Hulu? I don't know. So I don't want to go back to Comcast. Anyway, I'm going to take a look. And then finally, Lester 7L1, another repeat offender. You guys are just keep coming back. I love it. Thank you very much for that. Old World Hockey, number 2, behind the Blackhawks, Detroit Red Wings. They have cool uniforms, and they do. They do. I mean, I still hate them in my core just because of so many years of rivalry. But yes, they do have cool uniforms. So, touche, sir. Well, that is a wrap for today, folks. So, please keep piping in your thoughts. I love all that. Let me know what you think about the goalie situation. Now we have so many, we might as well make them a couple of lines. I don't know. But, tell me what you think. Please tune in every weekday, as you have been, clearly. Really appreciate it. Get your daily Blackhawks download. And, of course, we always talk about impressing your friends and neighbors, which you clearly do. You always are impressing me every day. While you're at it, please like and subscribe. Share about the channel. Get your friends involved. Get them all in here. It's the 100th season of the Hawks this year. Really great time for us to pump up the Hawks. Really great time for us to celebrate this team. Let's make sure that we kick this next century off with as much love and support as we can. So looking forward to doing that with all of you guys, right, shoulder to shoulder with you. I think it's going to be great. So really appreciate it. Again, so much fun for me. Thank you so much. Really appreciate it. That does it for today. And I'm PJ, and I will see you next time on the Blackhawks Daily.